Charles, King of Prussia. Good to be here. Give it up for Mike Bodie. Would you like to carry that guy around in a bottle and just open him up on people? Good. He's a great leader. #1 money earner in Pennsylvania, number 15 in the entire company. He's blazed the trail for all of you to say, hey, we can do it here in Pennsylvania. And once one person proves that you can do something, doesn't that take the excuses away from everyone else? It does. I mean, you think of Roger Bannister. Before he ran the 4-minute mile, do you realize doctors were telling people that it was humanly impossible? Like that would never happen. A human couldn't do that. And then he did it. And now there's been tens of thousands of people do it. Isn't that crazy? That's kind of how life works. Somebody goes out and proves you can do something. And then everybody kind of gets this vision of, oh, well, I can do it too. And that's what Mike's done for a lot of you here in Pennsylvania, to show you the way and say, hey, you can go get this money. For those of you who are new, I'll tell you my story real quick so you can know my perspective and how I got involved in this company. Prior to Stream, I was with American Airlines for 17 years. I was a senior analyst of airport operations for American system-wide, so my plate was full. I was traveling a lot. I was one of those guys that was too busy to do anything else. I wasn't even looking for anything else, and I got a phone call one day from a good friend of mine that I'd known for over 10 years and had a lot of respect for. He was a vice president for a major international corporation. He also owned several franchises, and he was just one of those guys that always made money, and he was already one of my business mentors. And he called me one day and he said, Steve, I found a way we can get paid residual income on electricity. When people pay their electric bill or their gas bill, we can get paid. And I remember, even though I was too busy to do anything else, I remember going, okay, I'm listening. I mean, that just made sense to me. I thought, well, tell me more. And so when I saw the presentation that you're seeing tonight, and I saw what this company was doing, that I could actually get paid when people paid their electric bill, I thought, man, if this is true, I'm in. Sign me up. And we started, sharing this information with people and getting people in front of this as quickly as possible. Now, the rest of the story is, I heard about this in November of 2004. I knew the company was going to launch in January of 2005 in Dallas, Texas. But what I didn't know was that I was going to get laid off from American Airlines the Wednesday before Christmas of 2004. So right before we launched this company, I got laid off. My wife was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 girls at home, a house, 2 cars, life. I mean, it was really a scary time around my house. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had had it up to here with the corporate world. I was at a point in my life where I was kind of over it. And so I was actually excited about this new frontier. When I got laid off, I got a small severance package from American. I stress the word small. And I was excited about this new frontier that I was going to go on. And my wife was just the opposite of excited, right? Like, she wanted me to go get a job, and rightfully so, because I was the only source of income in the family. But I convinced her. I said, you know what? I feel something about this company. I believed in the founders of this company. I believed in this deregulation of electricity. Thought, this is unique, man. If we can get paid when people pay their electric bill, that's got to be a good thing. I believed in the opportunity that we had. I believed in network marketing. And so I said, let me run with this. And if in 6 months we're not making it, she knew what type of person I was. I'm not going to let my kids go hungry, but I tell you this story tonight so you'll understand how I started my business. This had to work for me. I was backed into a corner, and I promise you, I came out swinging. I did not sleep very much in 2005, in 2006, in 2007, because we were building like crazy. And understand, we were only in one state, Texas. And I had network marketing friends that I was trying to recruit onto my team, and they looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. They said, Steve, you're in one state. What are you, stupid? That doesn't work in network marketing. I'm not coming with you. They had teams all over the country, and some of them worldwide, so I'm not coming with you. That's not going to work. We did $1 billion in our first 3 years. And all of a sudden, I was making more money than they were worldwide in one state. And all of a sudden, they started listening, right? And so we built like crazy. We found people that it made sense to. That, hey, would you like to get paid when people pay their electric bill? Yes or no? I mean, it's a pretty simple question, right? If someone answered no to that question, you think I kept talking? I didn't have time for that. I really didn't. I had kids to feed. And so if they answered no, okay, great, thanks. I went to the next person. Because I had to build a team and I had to build it fast. And so I look back on that time, I learned a lot of lessons about building this business because I was put in a situation where I had to. And often, Mike and I were talking about this earlier today. I go, you know, Mike, I always ask myself the question, had I not been put in that position, would I have done what I did? And that's a scary question to ask yourself because, see, what happens with most people is most people don't have to. And they settle for good. It's the most dangerous place to be when you have good. Because you always miss out on great. So I travel the country now telling people, listen, if you're not in that position, if this doesn't have to work for you like it had to work for me, pretend. For like 2 years, just pretend that you have to. And go to work getting people in front of this information. Build a team like your life depends on it. And I'm going to tell you something, it can be life-changing for you. So here we were, we built the first 3 years in Texas. And then we launched our first expansion state, the great state of Georgia. So here we were, $1 billion company, launching our first expansion state, the great state of Georgia, and I didn't know anyone in Georgia. I didn't have one person that I could call and say, hey, we're $1 billion company, we're coming to your state, I want you on my team. Not one person. It was absolutely killing me. But I was playing golf one day with a guy on my team that some of you may know, Jim Spardra, who's now a national director with our company. We're playing golf, and we get a phone call from a guy that was on our team in Houston, Texas. He was a real estate broker in Houston. And in the first 3 years in our business, he did absolutely nothing. Now, when I say nothing, I mean he got 0 customers and 0 associates. He did nothing. That's actually hard to do. I mean, it really is. You got to work at that to do nothing. How do you do nothing? I don't understand. But anyway, he had done nothing. But he calls us. And he goes, hey, I see you guys are going to Georgia, and my son is a real estate broker in Atlanta, and he's a go-getter. And I'm like, well, where did that come from? No. Well, he doesn't have to do much more to be better than you. But anyway. Can he get one customer? That's all right. Can he get one customer? But anyway, so he connects us to his son in Georgia. And we call him up. And so we're on the golf course, and we like step aside, and we're letting foursomes play through, because this is an important phone call right here. And so we're talking to him and telling him about the business. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm interested. And our launch was just right around the corner in Atlanta, Georgia. And we said, you know what? If you're serious, we'll fly to Atlanta. We'll meet you at the launch, and we can get your business going. He was like, great. And so we flew, and he had, I think, 5 guests with him at the launch of Georgia. 5 people. And he started building like crazy. This guy started building a team. And to make a long story short, they have now thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of associates on this team who have gathered thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. I think, Mike, there's like 7 or 8 executive directors on that team. Pretty powerful. From this one guy who came from a guy that did nothing. Sometimes it works like that, right? And so here I am in Texas, and when all of those thousands of customers were paying their gas bill in Georgia, we would get a printout that, you know, back in the day we actually got printouts, you know, of showing how many customers we were getting paid on for that month. And I would just look at those and I'd be like, wow, that's pretty awesome, right? I'm getting paid every time they paid their gas bill in Georgia. Crazy, isn't it? Me in Texas, them paying their gas bill in Georgia, and I get paid? Do you realize our company just announced we're launching 2 new states this year? Woo! Woo! The great state of Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Pretty big state, right? And another state that's not too far from here, Delaware.
And PGW in Philly.
Yeah. And PGW in Philly. Now listen, let me tell you what's going to happen. People are going to start building in these states with electricity and gas, and all of a sudden, people in those states are paying their electric and gas bill, and you're getting paid here in Pennsylvania. How nice is it to get paid on Chicago Cubs fans when they pay their electric bill? Yeah. Pretty cool. Are you getting that? Yeah. See, here's what most people don't understand when they start a stream business, is they don't understand what they're starting. Because here's what I didn't know when I started my business. I didn't know that I could sponsor someone who 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 could sponsor someone that could make me $1 million. Did you catch that? I'm going to say it again. I did not know that I could sponsor someone who could sponsor someone, who could sponsor someone, who could sponsor someone, who could sponsor someone, who could sponsor someone that could make me $1 million. Now I know that now. And the same applies to you. Now if you know that, wouldn't you want to get that started? Yeah. Right? So how do you get that started? Well, you sponsor someone. And you may say, well, I sponsored somebody and they aren't doing anything. Well, sponsor another one. Until you find someone that works. Listen, don't get frustrated by the process. So many people get in network marketing I think a lot of people get in expecting to get lucky. It's not how it works, guys. It's work. And you got to go through the numbers to find a few right people. But if you'll go through that process and find a few right people, a few people can change your life in this business. If I had to look in my entire business, okay, my team, I could probably say, I could point to 3 people on my team that make up almost my entire team. Their teams make up almost my entire team. From 3 people, 3 players. That's not a lot. I had to go through a lot of numbers to find those 3 players. But it's just finding a few right people. Can you imagine if Mike Fody was on your team? Golly, man, what I would give to have Mike Fody in my national director organization. Oh, baby. Solid. Can you share approximately how many customers you guys get paid on?
You know, we switched probably 6.5 years in my whole family, probably 200 to make you a little bit of money. But our team switched 20,000 that we get paid on. One guy. And he works it. Mike and I have a very similar story because, Mike was backed up against the wall too. Lost his job, and this had to work for him. So, there's something to be said about that, finding some people that have they're hungry, right? I know I was hungry. Mike was hungry. We went after it because we had to. And so, here's one of the common mistakes that people make in network marketing. I'll start with this, and you should probably write this down because this is really good. Did you know that it's easier to run with 1,000 people that want to run with you than it is for you to drag 10? But yet, The majority of people in network marketing spend their time trying to drag the 10. Why? Stop that. All it does is frustrate the hell out of you and frustrate the hell out of them. It's true. Drives them crazy, drives you crazy. I mean, you'll lay awake at night sometimes. Why won't they just go get 4 people? I mean, can we back up to that? Okay, do you see? How many of you have sponsored 4 people? Let me see your hand. You've sponsored 4 people in the business. Now look, I mean, almost the entire room. Now, if I would have asked that question and one person raised their hand, you might be sitting there going, oh God, only one person could do it. Everybody's doing it. Now, if all these people can go get 4 people, doesn't that mean there's a lot of people out there that can go get 4 people? Stop wasting time with people that won't get 4 people. Listen, if they won't get 4 people, they don't get my time. Go get 4 people and then call me and ask questions. Then call me and ask me to do something. You can go get 4 people, right? Everybody can do that. So don't waste time trying to make the wrong people be the right people. It's much better to go find people that want to run with you. I mean, think of it this way. This is a great visual. How many of you like to run, actually physically run, like go out and run on the street? Okay? So, a few, right? There's a few. Like 1%, right? So you like, what time do you like to run? You get up early in the morning and go running? 5:30. It's like, this is so common. Most of the people that like to run like to get up early in the morning. Have you ever been driving in the morning when it's dark outside and you see this guy running like, what's that guy doing? He could be in bed, but he's up running in the dark at 5:30. Now listen, you look like a nice guy, right? But I don't care if you call me every night and say, hey, Steve, would you like to get up at 5:30 and go running with me tomorrow? The answer is always no. No. I mean, it would be a waste of your time to keep calling me and say, Steve, would you like to go running with me tomorrow? No, I'm not going to. But do you know there's other people that like to run at 5:30? Like they have running clubs. You can go join a running club and you can actually run with other people that like to run at 5:30 in the mornings. It is. I mean, there are people who like to do that. So stop trying to make the people that don't want to do that with you. Why not just find people that want to run with you? Be straight up with people. Like, if you wanted me to go running with you at 5:30 tomorrow morning, you wouldn't call me up and say, hey, would you like to go fishing? And then when I get there, say, hey, we're going running instead. You don't have to trick me into running. A lot of people do that with network marketing. Like you're trying to trick people into seeing the presentation. All this. Stop that. Be straight up. Tell them this is what we're doing. I'm with a company that's been in business 12 years. They've done $7 billion in revenue. They're 100% 8 now, 100% debt free, and they pay residual income when people pay their electric bill. I'm looking for people that like to build passive residual income. Does that sound interesting to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. But we need to get together. See, he didn't answer. So now, where did my attention go? Right? Simple as that. Find the people that say yes, that they want to run with you. That is so much easier to build with them and drive depth with them than it is convincing the others. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then you got to decide, what are you in this for? Listen, there are people that get in our business just to make an extra $500 a month. And there is nothing wrong with that. If that's their goal, that they got in this just to pay a bill or whatever it may be, an extra $500 a month, and they create that, that's awesome for them. That is success to them. Success is relative to what their goal is, yes? Yes. But there's others that want to make $1,000 a month. There's others that want to make $2,000 or $5,000 a month. There's others that want to make 10 or 20 grand a month. And there's some of us that like to make 100 grand a month. It's all relative as to what you're after. But listen, if you're one of the ones that wants to change your life, like this is a life change for you. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick and tired of not being able to take the vacations that you want to take. You're sick and tired of not being able to live the life that you want to live, and you want to seriously change your life. Then you got to take this seriously. You got to build it like a pro. You got to decide, if you're going to do this, you got to do it. How many of you went to Ignition, our annual convention? Awesome. Was that awesome?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Best ever.
Off the charts. Off the charts. And I think probably the biggest thing that people came away with was the belief in our CEO. And really that he's going to take us to this new level. But I shared a story at Ignition, so I'm going to share it again, and you guys that were there, you'll hear it for the second time. But I told a story about my son-in-law, that my son-in-law is a professional fisherman. Now, professional bass fisherman. And so when I go fishing with my son-in-law, he fishes differently than me. Right? I mean, he's serious. He's fast. He's like, reels it in fast. He can flip it up under trees. I'm like, how did you do that, man? Like 30 yards and he lands right under the tree. That's nice. Yeah, fast. And then if they're not biting, he's very impatient. So if they're not biting, he gets it back in, and he can change his bait with all 10 fingers, like this. Ties it off like a rodeo goat or something. It's like, oh, and like, wow, that's impressive. And then he's back in the water, fast, fishing. And I'm just sitting over here like, fishing, right? I got my feet propped up. I got a drink over here. I mean, I'm really not that serious about fishing. I'm just out there. I'm enjoying the weather. I'm leaning back. I'm an amateur fisherman. And he always catches more fish than me. Like if the fish aren't biting, he's like, pack up, we're moving. And we go to the next hole, and it's like, he's fishing. And then when he gets on them, he's like yelling at me, like, get the net. He catches a fish. Get the net. Get the net. Get the net. Oh yeah, we backed the big one. Woo. And before I know it, like I still got the fish in the net. I get the hook out of his mouth, and I still got the fish in the net. And he's got the line in the water again. So my pole's over there, and I let the fish go, and I go over, I get my pole, and about the time I cast, I get it in the water. Hey, get the net! Get the net! I'm back on. Well, no wonder he catches more fish than me. He's got his line in the water more than me. He's serious. And that really is how our network marketing business works. Are you fishing like a pro, or are you fishing like an amateur? I see so many people build their network marketing business like an amateur and complain to the CEO that they're not getting paid like a pro. Listen, you can't not do the work and expect the same results. You got to put in the work. And building your business like a pro takes work. It takes getting out there and talking to people and building that team and doing some things that you may not want to do. I remember when I started building, I'll close with this, but I remember when I started building my team in Dallas, we had a team, I wanted a team in Houston. It was 4 hours south of us, and there were 5 million people in Houston. Wow. And I kept telling myself, I gotta have business in Houston. It's just common sense. I gotta have a team there. But I didn't know anybody. And so everyone that was joining my team in Dallas, I was asking them, who do you know in Houston? Who do you know in Houston? Who do you know in Houston? I finally hit a guy that knew one person in Houston. I said, that's awesome. Can we call him right now? I said, what does he do? He said, he's a vice principal of a high school down there. I said, yes. So we called him right then. And we started telling him about the business. And I was impatient, like my son-in-law. And about halfway through the phone call, I said, Mike, let me tell you, if you're at all interested in what we're talking about here, I'll get in my car right now and drive 4 hours to meet with you and show you the business. And he was like, you would drive 4 hours right now to meet with me? I said, absolutely. He said, I'm in then. If it's that good, I'm in. He was impressed. I said, I'm getting in my car right now. And I drove 4 hours down to meet with this guy. Signed him up in the business. And I said, Mike, how quickly do you think you can get 15 people in a room to meet with me? I think this was on a Thursday. And he said, how about Monday night? We can use the room in the school here. Awesome. I'll be back Monday night. I drove 4 hours home. And on Monday, I drove 4 hours back down to Houston. He had 3 people in the room. And I pulled him aside. I said, Mike, I said 15. None of those 3 got in the business. Really stunk. So on the way home, I called my upline because I wanted to cry, right? You know, I called my upline and I'm like, this really sucked, man. I drove 4 hours down here and nobody got in the business. I'm driving 4 hours back. And I said, I can't really, figure this out, but I gotta have business in Houston. So I asked Mike, I said, all right, Mike, we're not quitting. I gotta have business in Houston. It's either gonna come through you or someone else. He said, no, it's coming through me. I said, so all right, so when can we get 15 people in the room? He said, how about Monday night? Give me a week, I'll have 15 people in the room. Like, okay, I'll be back Monday night. Drove 4 hours down to Houston. Mike had 6 people in the room.
He doubled his
Killing
thing.
me, Mike. Killing me, Mike. But 2 of them got in the business. So now I had 3 people on my team in Houston. I sat them down after the meeting. It was just those 3, and I said, how soon do you think you 3 people can get 15 people in the room? They said,
Next month.
Monday night. We're going to have 15 people in there. Okay. 6 weeks later, true story, 6 weeks later, they had 15 people in a room. Actually, they had 20. And I remember that night, a doctor came up to me after the meeting. I could see it in his eyes when he was coming up to me. I could see it in his eyes. And he walked up to me and he said, Steve, I'm Dr. So-and-so. And he said, I have 7 practices here in Houston. And he said, I'm too busy to do this business. But I get it. Makes a lot of sense to me. He said, can you come to my house and do a presentation like this? I was like, well, I don't know. I'm pretty busy, man. But I went to his house, I believe that Thursday night, packed. His house looked like the Taj Mahal. It was bigger than the hotel that we had been meeting in. And I remember he had a guy sitting on his couch. And this guy had a World Series ring on. He pitched for the Florida Marlins. They had just won the World Series. And the dude's sitting on the couch. And I'm thinking to myself, why is this guy here? I mean, the guy makes millions of dollars. He's not going to be interested in this. This is the way I was thinking. And about halfway through the presentation, he was sitting on the edge of his seat watching this presentation. I could tell, this guy's paying attention. And he came running up to me after the meeting. He was like, Steve, that was awesome. I'm in. Like, can you do this at my house next week? His house was bigger than the doctor's house. Right? I go walk in, and he had 35 people there. His first meeting, never seen anything like it. And he had 4 laptops set up, Mike, around the room. Now, this guy had never been trained or anything, but he had 4 laptops set up around the room. He said, when you get done with the presentation, bring me up. I just want to say something to everybody because these are all my friends and family. Okay. So he comes up at the end and he goes, look, I can't teach you guys how to pitch in the major leagues, but you can still be on my team. And I can teach you how to build residual income with this company. So if you want to be on my team, you want to build residual income, go stand in line at one of these 4 laptops and let's get going.
Boy, that's awesome.
All 35 people signed up that night. That team exploded. Today, there's over 10,000 people on that team. Now, I wanted to quit. All those 6 weeks I was driving 4 hours down and 4 hours back. Understand, my business in Dallas was exploding. And here I felt like I was wasting my time down in Houston. I kept calling my upline going, I can't figure this thing out. I can't make it work. I was making it work in Dallas. I couldn't make it work in Houston. What's up with that? And it finally clicked and hit. There's a moral to that story, guys. Mike said this earlier today. We were doing a video, and I've said this over and over again in stream. I've seen it too many times. The people who are persistent, consistent, and committed long term always, 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 always hit someone that explodes their business. Always. They always hit someone if they just stay in and keep doing the right things and talking to people and sharing this information and getting people in front of the presentation. They always hit someone that explodes their business. And then you know what everyone says about them? Mike Bodie's so lucky. So lucky. Listen, you can be lucky too if you'll do the work. We're in a unique position with our company right now, guys. Our CEO was the CEO of KOP USA. He took KOP USA from $150 million a year to $7 billion a year. He's a growth CEO. His first hire was Dan O'Malley, who was one of the owners of MoneyGram. Dan O'Malley helped take MoneyGram to 37 different countries. He's an international business expert. It's what he does. I'm telling you guys, we changed our lives. My wife and I changed our lives in 5 years. And the next 5 years with this company is going to be huge. And I believe everyone in this room has a chance, an opportunity to change your life if you will take it. You do have to take it. You got to go for it. You got to do it. But if you'll do the work over the next 5 years, some great things are going to happen. And I'm hoping you're one of the ones that changes your life. So thanks for your time.